love soda. I am obsessed with these babies. I don't know what it is about the bubble water, but I just love it. If you're new here, hi, I'm Madison. I am an Akashic Records reader. I also do Reiki and I'm a medium. Today we are talking about numerology and angel numbers. I have been having a lot of things come up in readings around people seeing angel numbers, what angel numbers mean, how do we work with them. So we're going to get into all of that today. To kick us off, I am going to do a little card pull. Today we are working with the Rebel Goddess Oracle deck, which I just love. The cards are beautiful, beautiful. But if you're looking for a goddess deck, this is honestly the perfect deck. Okay, let's see what message guides have for us today. What you want wants you. So this card normally comes up whenever you are in a space of self-doubt or uncertainty. So maybe you've been like, okay, I really want this thing, but is it aligned for me? And this is definitely a reminder that what you want also wants you. Meaning that whenever you step into your highest purpose, your highest timeline, the universe will start working things in your favor to allow you to have opportunities, visibility, healing, clearing, whatever it is you need to really take things to that next level. So if you were doubting yourself today, this is your reminder that what you want also wants you, and that dream is on your heart for a very specific reason, not just because it's random. And a lot of times we need the validation because sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, I have this big dream, am I crazy? You know, all of that. So if you were feeling a little bit of that, I hope that message gave you some clarity. So let's get into it. Numerology as a whole is the concept that numbers are actually a way of speaking to the humans from the angels. So there's the common concept of sacred geometry, and sacred geometry is also a lot tied up in the concept of a Merkaba or light body, which I'll probably do another episode on that later on. I'm currently working on activating my own light body. So once I get to the process of having done that, I'll share that with you guys. So numerology is all about how we use numbers to decipher messages that our guides are sending us. So maybe you've been seeing 111, 1111, 222. All of these numbers are actually messages from our angel team. So whenever I see a series of angel numbers, I sort of have a process for how I decode the angel numbers and the angel messages. So whenever I first see an angel number or an angel series, let's say I see 1111, I'll sort of pause and be like, okay, what was I just thinking about, worrying about, asking my guides about right before I saw this? Then what I'll do is take that and then allow that message to kind of work as a sign from my guides. So 1111, for example, is specifically a sign of new beginnings. So maybe you've been feeling like, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to start this new path, but I'm not 100% sure if it's the right way to go. That's your guide's way of saying, yes, you are on the right path. Hello, see you guys in the chat. Thanks so much for tuning in. Glad you're here today. Happy Friday. So that's kind of the process I'll go through is I'll look and see the number series. I'll look at the meaning of that number series, and then I'll tie it back to either what I was just thinking about or what I was just asking my guides for guidance on. So the other day I was working on something that's going to be a little bit of a change, definitely a change in my personal life and my business, and really just like an energetic change I was trying to make within myself. And as I was thinking about this, I was like, is this too big of a change? Can I do it? All of those things, right? A little bit of self-doubt was creeping in. Immediately, I see it's 5:55, and I'm like, oh, duh, 5:55 is the number of change. So that immediately was my guide's way of being like, no worries, there is going to be change, but change doesn't have to be bad or scary. So that's sort of how I've learned to work with the angel numbers. Instead of just being like, okay, yeah, angels, I see you. It's a way of being able to actually start to decode things that you're looking for or signs that your guides are sending you through the concept of knowing what each of the numbers symbolize and applying that to your real life. So whenever I first started doing that, it took me a long time, right? I would see a number, I wouldn't know what the series was, I'd have to stop, Google it. It took me a little while to memorize what all the series numbers mean and then how to kind of decode those in my life. So let's get into it. I'm going to take you guys through each one of the number series and what they mean, so the next time you guys see it, you can know how to apply that to your situation. So The combination of ones are always about new beginnings, fresh starts, and a lot of times it's validation if you're unsure about going off on a new path, that that new path is for you and is something that would be really beneficial. It's also normally a sign that your manifestations are coming true. So if you've been like, oh, I've been really working on manifesting this thing, nothing's happened, how come nothing's happened? That's a big way of saying, hey, it may feel like nothing's happening right now, but things are happening behind the scenes. And a lot of times I find, specifically with manifestation, it's not necessarily about manifesting the thing as much as it is about being the person you need to be to manifest the thing. So maybe you're like, oh, I've been trying to manifest the house, the job, the car, whatever, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Then you see 1111. That's your guide's way of being like, hey, we see your work, we see your effort, don't give up because you are on the right track and that new beginning is coming. So I love that, and that is something that's been coming up a lot in readings. I've been having a lot of readings that, hey Trey, see you in the comments, thanks for joining. I've been having a lot of readings where people have been like, what are my guys trying to tell me with these angel numbers? Are they just trying to tell me they're around? Are they trying to send me something specific? And I definitely think it's a combination. Angel numbers are always a sign that your guides are around, but angel numbers are also a sign that your guides are normally trying to communicate something specific with you. So that is a little bit about ones. Twos are all about you being exactly where you're supposed to be. A lot of times this is physically. So for me, let's say I'm going to drive to do something that I don't really want to do, but I know I need to be there, right? And I pass exit 222. That's my guide's way of being like, you may not want to do this, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And angel numbers can literally show up anywhere. It can be time, exit, license plate. Like, there's so many ways that I see my guides communicate with me through angel numbers since I started to realize that that was a direct sign and direct guidance from them. So I truly love to see just different ways that angel numbers show up. I was working with a friend of mine the other day, and she was saying that the way her guides have been sending her angel numbers recently is somebody cut her off, and the angel numbers were the angel number on the back of the license plate. And she was like, I wanted to be mad. I couldn't even be mad because my guides were sending me angel numbers through me getting cut off, which I thought was crazy. Somebody just messaged and said no sound. Can you guys hear me? I guess you guys can. Let me know if you can't hear me for any reason. But I think we are all the way turned up. Yep, we are all the way turned up on my end. So just let me know if you can hear. Okay, so moving into, so twos are all about you're right where you're supposed to be, even if maybe it's not where you want to be. Threes are all about joy, creativity, expression, and ultimately, if you have, let's say, a creative endeavor, project, business idea that you've been putting off, threes normally come when your guides are like, hey, don't forget, you're not just here to do and produce and work and build other people's dreams, you're also here to create and foster joy and love in your own life. So very much a message to not get so caught up in hustle and bustle and sort of realign to the version of you that feels most happy and is normally creating something. So a lot of times if you've been stuck in the rut of work, 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 then that sometimes can be when the threes show up because your guys are like, hang on, take a moment for creativity and joy and expression. Maybe it's that you need to spend more time in nature, but a lot of times threes come up for me whenever I need to connect back to self. We still can't hear you. Let's see, can anybody else hear me? I've got my volume all the way up. Let's see, is that a little bit better? Can you hear me better now that I'm a little closer? I guess we will see. Okay, so moving on from there, fours. Fours are always a sign that your guides are around. So normally if I see 444, it's my guide's way of saying, hello, we're around. And a lot of times this can show up when maybe you're forgetting to ask your spirit guides for help, you're forgetting to work with them, whatever that looks like. And so a lot of times fours for me show up when my spirit guides need to be like, we're around. And sometimes it's just that maybe I'm feeling a little bit lonely or down and my spirit guides are like, hey, don't forget we're here. But sometimes it's also a reminder that we go through this life thinking we have to figure out everything ourselves and solve every problem. And it's very much our guide's way of being like, you don't have to do that. We're here and we're able to help. So we'll kind of pause on angel numbers and kind of go back to working with our spirit guides. So whenever I work with my spirit guides, you don't have to know who your spirit guides are. You don't have to have a specific person that you're reaching out to. I believe we all have a combination of angels on our teams that are ascended masters, teachers, and then past loved ones. So you always have spiritual help and guidance around, even if it doesn't feel like it. And that's a lot of times when fours show up. So whenever I need help or guidance with something, normally what I'll do is I'll say out loud or in my mind's eye to my spirit team, hey, I need help or guidance or support on whatever it is. Sometimes I'll say I need a sign, sometimes I'll say I need angelic favor. There's really no right or wrong. It's much more about just the concept of getting used to working with them, accepting that you have a spirit team around, and realizing that you don't have to do everything in this life on your own, and that there is angelic favor around to help you. So if you're just now joining the live, welcome. So happy you're here. From there, let's move into fives. Fives are all about change. So a lot of times we sort of fear change, we resist change because we're not sure what it's going to lead to. Fives are always a sign that change is coming, but that your guides are going to be with you and that change is going to be supported. So I hope that that gives you a little bit of clarity next time you're seeing and working with fives, because a lot of times, like I said the other day, I was kind of worried about this change that I was going to be going through, and it was like immediately the five showed up, and I was reminded of like, oh yeah, change might be scary, but ultimately we're always in this period of change, and change a lot of times can lead you to being at a better point in life. So fives are always validation that change is coming, but that your guides are going to be with you in supporting the process, which I think is good to know that it's okay, and really knowing that fives are all about change. So when it comes to sixes, sixes are all about giving yourself more credit. So a lot of times sixes will show you really being in this phase of not giving yourself enough credit. So sometimes whenever you feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough, whatever it is, then all you really need to do is have that reminder of sixes of, oh yeah, actually I am doing enough and I need to give myself more credit. Because a lot of times we keep raising the bar for ourselves and then being worried about, oh, how come I'm not where I want to be? But ultimately where you are is maybe where you wanted to be 6 months ago, 2 years ago, whatever it is, we just keep raising the bar for ourselves. So sixes are a beautiful reminder that you are already doing enough and you need to give yourself more credit. So sevens, a lot of people think sevens are all about money, luck, wealth, and they are to an extent, but they're also about spiritual enlightenment. So sometimes whenever you see sevens, that can be a sign that spiritual enlightenment is coming your way, maybe a new spiritual experience coming your way. There's all sorts of different ways that sevens can show up when it comes to spiritual awakening, enlightenment, and alignment. So it definitely can also represent money or good fortune coming your way, but the traditional number associated with wealth is actually eights. So in numerology, eights are actually tied to wealth and abundance, and that's why you kind of have that infinity whenever you turn the eight on its side. It's very much showing like, oh yeah, you are abundant, and it's also a reminder with eights that you already have everything that you need within you. You as a person are inherently abundant and inherently worthy, and you don't have to do anything else to be worthy of what it is you desire. Nines are all about the closing of a chapter. So anytime you see nines, normally it is a sign that you are coming to the close of a chapter. And a lot of times, like 2025 is a year nine, for example. So a lot of people are clearing out past energy, past relationships, past trauma, past whatever that they've been holding on to in 2025, which is why 2025 has been an emotional year for a lot of people, because it's the close of a chapter. And then 2026 will be a 1 year, which is again back to the new beginnings. So as you see, the numbers can really tell a story whenever you're working with angel numbers. And angel numbers really allow you to start to get messages and downloads a little bit more clearly from your spirit guides. So I hope this gave you a little bit of an idea of what to do when you're working with angel numbers next time. And normally the process that I got in the habit of doing was, okay, seeing an angel number, pause. What was I just thinking about or worrying about or asking for a sign on? And then decoding the angel number meaning to tie back to what I was wondering. So if I'm feeling uncertain about a new beginning and then I get 1111, that's validation that the new beginning is coming and that it is safe. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions about any other combinations you've been seeing you want to know more about, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll be happy to provide any more clarity. Other things coming up, I have my website listed in the show notes. You can work with me one-on-one, in person, or virtually, and I am located in Greensboro, North Carolina. I also have a 5D Ascension membership where I teach people things like how to access your Akashic record, how to tap into your highest self. I do monthly channeled messages, and on Monday, we actually have a new video coming out that will teach you how to go in and clear all of your own chakras and also teach you affirmations to be able to heal some of the energy stuck in your chakras. So if the spiritual and metaphysical topics are interesting to you, the 5D Ascension membership is a really cool way to be able to get a lot of content and a lot of spiritual guidance and tips in a pretty easy price point. So that is what I have going on. Oh, one more thing. I do have one spot left for our Sedona retreat. It is September 21st to the 26th. We would love to have you there. We are going to be doing horseback riding, doing energy work in a vortex, creating spiritual community, and it's really going to be a beautiful time. So if you've been feeling like, ooh, I want to pull the trigger, commit to a spiritual retreat, we would love to have you there. Like I said, we have one spot left, and it is in Sedona, Arizona, from September 21st to the 26th. It is a women's only retreat, and we will be doing something fun and outdoorsy and also something spiritual every single day. So information about that is also on my website. Both are linked in the show notes and on my bio. So thanks so much for tuning into this live. I will see you guys next Friday at 11:11 for another live, and I will have another just new video come out probably Sunday or Monday about what happens when we die. And I've just been channeling with various spirits that I've been working with from a mediumship perspective and in the Akashic records about what happens when we pass away or when our human body passes away. And so that will be the next video to come. So it will probably be available on Sunday or Monday, and then I will be back next Friday at 11:11 for another live. Every Friday I do a live at 11:11, and I do a different spiritual or metaphysical topic every single week. So if you enjoyed this, I would love to see you again next Friday. And if you did not get to see the whole video, feel free to go back. I actually went through the entire breakdown of all the angel number series, sequences, what they mean, and how to start decoding those as messages from your angel team. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's live, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.